Australia must be consistent with its army to create more artillery, mechanized, and amphibious forces. Australia will restructure its 3 regular force combat brigades with new designations only a decade after assigning multi-role functions. Australia appears to be reversing some of the changes it made to its army defense posture in 2012, when it restructured 3 of its brigades into multi-role formations and is now assigning specialist roles to the 1st, 3rd, and 7th Brigades, the Australian government announced September 28, 2023. Until Plan Beersheba, announced in 2011, the Australian Army's 3 regular force brigades had been a mechanized brigade, 1st Brigade, a light infantry brigade, 3rd Brigade, and motorized infantry formation, 7th Brigade, but were restructured into multi-role maneuver brigades that were fundamentally alike in structure. The announcement from the Australian government indicates that the generalist profile will be abandoned, and each brigade will move to a specialist function. 1st Brigade will become a light combat brigade, 3rd Brigade will be an armored brigade, and 7th Brigade will return to being a motorized combat brigade. The announcement also included a decision to re-raise the 10th Brigade, previously disbanded in 1942, to serve as a fires brigade. Restructured by the Defence Strategic Review. The Defence Strategic Review called for the immediate acceleration of Army Littoral Manoeuvre Vessels programs and the acquisition of HIMARS, and cancelled the self-propelled howitzers of the Protected Mobile Fires program, as well as making a reduction in the size of the Land Combat Vehicle System. I would disagree with reducing the size of mechanized infantry and platform-based warfare capability, which is the cancelled howitzers acquisition project. I suspect the cancellation is related to the AUKUS nuclear submarine and finding funds from the Army's budget to fulfill the Navy's requirement. I believe Australia needs to restructure its army to align with the nation's strategic environment, challenges and littoral force projection purposes. A close reading of Australia's Defence Strategic Review suggests that the Australian Army intends to focus on combat in the nearshore with long-range fire support, calling for the Army to reposture key capabilities. Here are my thoughts on Australia restructuring its forces. Comment below and let us know your thoughts on Australia restructuring its army. Number 1. The Australian Army needs specialist amphibious forces or trained specialist forces in all divisions to maneuver and integrate with U.S. Marines, Japanese Marines, and Royal Marines for littoral force projection. It will assist Australia in meeting an expectation of greater integration with allies and partners in joint task forces in the Indo-Pacific. Number 2. Australia must position its aviation command in all states and territories to provide greater mobility for the entire force. Number 3. There are force projection gaps in Western Australia, Tasmania, and South Australia. Australia must increase artillery, mechanized infantry and tank regiments and embed them into all divisions, similar to the British Army. Although it may sound expensive, Australia must enhance its long-range strike capability with a high-mobility artillery rocket system, HIMARS, and platform-based warfare capability with the K9 self-propelled howitzer, Boxer CRV, and M1 Abrams tanks. Number 4. Australia must increase its NASAMS-based medium-range surface-to-air missiles and man-portable anti-air missile system for all divisions and position them in all Australian states and territories. This regimental anti-air system should be integrated with the broader Royal Australian Air Force and the Royal Australian Navy's integrated anti-air and area denial, A2AD, strategy. Thanks for watching.
Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.